Welcome to Chimes at Midnight. We have an episode today where we want to talk about traveling cocktails. A kind of an odd concept to people, and we'll get to it directly. But first I want to talk a little bit about how we got to a home bar in the first place. So when I first imagined having a home bar, the thing that worried me most was that people would come over to my house and they'd ask for a cocktail and I wouldn't know how to make it. And I imagined having to keep in mind dozens, maybe hundreds of cocktails as people came in and asked for them, and I, wouldn't know what to serve. Turns out that is not a problem. What we serve in home bars is what we want to serve. For example, when you go to somebody's house for dinner, they don't give you a menu that you choose from. They serve you whatever they have to serve that night. But there's another reason in home bars that we decide what people are going to be able to get. And by way of explaining that, I want to talk to you about Alex. Alex is my son, in case you didn't know that, but he grew up in a bar. And it has turned out that this has become perhaps a career opportunity. Alex turned 21 about 2 weeks ago, and last week he started working as a bartender in a nearby inn. Okay. Now, he's gotten himself in trouble a little bit because his potations aren't thin, but he'll overcome these things and improve the commercial bar where he works. But here's the reason that I'm getting to about why we decide what people are going to get when they come to the bar. So Alex, give us some examples of the cocktails that people order at the bar where you work.
Vodka sodas.
What? Vodka? Can you imagine a vodka? Do you put a lime in it, or at least?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good thing. Any other examples?
Pickled-tini.
No. Oh, what? What? Pickled-tini. Now, I mean, when he says that,
Is that for real?
it's hard. What it is I'm sure it's a version of a dirty martini made with vodka. But, we would never serve that here at Chimes at Midnight. Maybe one last example. Like something with a soda in it.
I already gave you that.
You did? No, the other kind of soda. Coke.
Oh, Myers and Coke.
Myers and Coke or Jack and Coke. I wouldn't be surprised if one of those came along once in a while. So you take my point that you cannot depend on your clientele to order drinks that you want to serve. And better than that, taking it one step further, if you're in charge of the drinks, you can make for them cocktails that they never would have heard of. And let's begin moving toward the traveling cocktail with a great example of that. One of our favorites here at Chimes at Midnight, the Royal Bermuda Yacht Club.
Yes.
Yes. Now, I've tried ordering the Royal Bermuda Yacht Club at bars that are not Alex's bar, because I know if I ordered one from Alex, I'd get one. But generally, what I get when I order one of those things is a blank look. What? Okay, so the Royal Bermuda Yacht Club. The first ingredient that we're going to use is just lime juice, which we've already squeezed, and Alex is going to give us an ounce of that. The second ingredient that we're going to use is dry orange curacao. And let Alex show you this bottle. This is Pierre Ferrand dry orange curacao, which in my mind anyway is the best. Now, orange curacao you can use bottom shelf stuff and it's perfectly fine. But this one is just particularly good, so I spend more money and I go ahead and buy it. And we keep this always on hand at Chimes at Midnight. So an ounce of that. The next ingredient is the most important and the least known, and it's important in lots of cocktails that are summer cocktails, lots of cocktails that are tiki cocktails, and that is falernum. Falernum comes in from different companies, but the one that I always use and the one that's easiest to find, and you can find it in any really good liquor store, is John D. Taylor's falernum. It's been around since the 1890s. Falernum can be either alcoholic or not. This one is slightly alcoholic. I think it's something like 11%. It's made with lime, sugar, rum, and some other secret spices and ingredients, and it is a delicious part of summer drinking. So an ounce of John D. Taylor Velvet Falernum. Velvet means that it's just a little bit thick on the tongue. And now we're going to use, so this is the Royal Bermuda Yacht Club. It's a Bermuda drink. So we'll start with a Bermuda rum, and how about an ounce and a half of Goslings. So Goslings is a fine, very dark Bermuda rum. You don't have to use a Bermuda rum. You can use any rum that you like, except make it a dark rum or at least a gold rum. So an ounce and a half of Goslings, which, you know, Goslings is the company that, by the way, invented the dark and stormy. That's even maybe like they have copyright on it or something like that. But it's a fine Bermuda rum, very appropriate for this drink. And what I like to do is kind of jack it up a little bit. And in this case, we've got some 151 rum from Guyana, Lemon Heart and Sons. Again, it's a dark rum, and of course it'll give this cocktail more kick. So an ounce of that. So Alex is going to shake that. Now you can serve this cocktail in a lot of different ways. You can serve it in a coupe, up. You can serve it in a double rocks glass with a big rock. Today we'll just serve it in a coupe. Here, I'll put that out. Excuse me. And usually you would garnish it with a lime wheel, but we don't have one handy because I didn't leave one out. Look at that. Ain't that a beauty? It's, you know, kind of the color of a dark honey, and by the way, you could use honey syrup, you could use simple syrup, you could use almost any kind of sweetener in place of the falernum, but just so you could use orgeat in place of falernum, but falernum is best. So would you like to try that Royal Bermuda? Okay, it's, by the way, it's 10 o'clock in the morning here. The chimes won't ring for another 14 hours, you know, so we imagine what the state we're going to find ourselves in. Ooh, I'm going to try that too. You're going to love this cocktail. You're going to want this cocktail. But more important, what you're going to want to do with this cocktail is serve it to your customers. So let's talk about the traveling cocktail and serving the Royal Bermuda cocktail to the people that you find in your life.